everyone, my name is Glenda, and I would like to share with you my testimony of how my life changed after I gave it to Jesus Christ. I came out of many years in the occult. I was not raised in church, although my mother believed in God. I was not raised in church and never really understood God. I tried once when I was in my early 20s, I tried going to church, and I found churchianity, but I didn't find Jesus. And I didn't find many people that acted like Jesus, so I didn't have anything really to look at to know what he was like. So I got into the occult, into witchcraft, into doing psychic readings, tarot card readings, horoscopes, seances, all those sort of things. And that went on for many years. And in 1996, by then, of course, I was divorced, and I was working in the oil and gas industry in a small town in Oklahoma. And there was this young girl who would come over to my apartment sometimes, and she was, I don't know, 15, 16, something like that. And I knew that she was a Christian. One day she came in, and I was doing the fortune cards, and she said, "You know that's wrong, right?" And I looked at her, and I said, "Well, I know the Bible says it's wrong." And she said, "Okay, I just wanted to be sure you knew," and she walked off. She didn't correct me in an offensive way. She simply spoke truth to me, and then she walked off. She was hanging out with my son. And I thought about that. You know, I'd been around her enough to know that she lived what she believed. And I had never seen a Christian that had so much peace and had so much joy and really lived their convictions. And I was really fascinated with that. And so one day she came over to my apartment, and I answered the door, and she said, "I've got a message from God for you." And I said, "Really?" You know, because I didn't really believe in God, so I was really fascinated at that point. And she said, "Yeah, come outside." And she was very sure of herself. And I followed her outside, and we walked downstairs to the parking lot. She turned around and looked at me, and she said, "God said to tell you he's got a plan for your life, and the way you're living is not it." And I kind of laughed, and I said, "Yeah, I can imagine it wouldn't be." And she went on to tell me the rest of the message from God, and there were things in that message that only God and I knew about. And I knew in that moment that he was real. He was real, he was alive, and he was talking to me. And he knew me. And I gave him my life that day. In August of 1996, I gave him my life. And I said, "Okay, I didn't know you had a plan for my life. Let's try your plan. My plan's not going all that great." No one had ever told me, I was 36 years old, no one had ever told me God had a plan for my life. And from that day on, it just became an adventure. You know, because it was an adventure of getting to know him. And he always amazed me with the things that he would do, because I would ask for things and he would bring them. But he would always do more than I asked. And he worked with me very gently. By the time you're 36 years old, if you've lived out in the world for 36 years, you have a lot of sin in your life. And I had a lot of sin in my life. I had a lot of strongholds. I had gone through a lot of abuse. And so there were a lot of strongholds in my life, and God very gently worked with me to give up the sins. He guided me to knowledge about the strongholds so I could be delivered. Today, 14 years later, I'm happy to say that not only am I still a Christian, not only am I still excited about God, which I am very excited about God every day. I'm a newspaper columnist, I'm a YouTube minister, I'm a Blog Talk radio host, I do Christian shows on Blog Talk, and God is just moving in mighty ways. And I just want to say that if you've never given Jesus a try, give him a try, because he'll surprise you. And if your life is something that you can't do anything with, give him a chance to do something with your life. Because he will redeem things in your life that you thought were beyond redemption. Because there is nothing that is too hard for him. And there is nobody who sinned too much that he won't come into their life and help them. And he brings so much beauty out of just what we look at as just mess and failure. That he's just an amazing God. And, you know, I used to live the party life and drink and go to the bars and stuff like that. And I would not trade one day of my life with Jesus for years of partying. Because there's nothing in that party life. When you wake up in the next morning, all you have is an empty wallet. But when you wake up with Him, there's nothing that's impossible to you. Talk to Him. He's waiting to hear from you. God bless you.